Hello there, Lisa Fitzgibbon here from Project 7 and welcome to our check-in service. So this is where we're going to hook up with our previous headline producers and our alumni from all around the world. We're going to find out where you are, what you're doing, what you're working on, how you're doing it, that kind of thing. Anyone who's been to one of our Project 7 events knows what an intensely challenging and rewarding week it can be, where forever friendships are made and creative connections that last are created. And this is the check-in service. So we're going to try and put everyone together so we can hook you up with your Project 7 kin. And today we're checking in with singer-songwriter, Project 7 alumni and musical powerhouse, Elle Exxe. Elle Exxe has joined us at 2 Project 7 songwriting retreats, and those who have worked with her know what an incredibly motivated and charismatic artist she is. Originally from Edinburgh, now based in London, Elle Exxe has been writing songs and performing since she was 15 years old. Her self-styled electro-rock pop freight train of a music-making machine is something to behold. Her energetic live performances are a visual and musical spectacular, and she has said that her musical future is looking like a wild and never-ending house party. Elle Exxe's debut album, Love Fueled Hate, features 2 songs written at a Project 7 writing retreat, and you can hear her latest releases coming thick and fast at a rate of a new song released on the 20th of every other month. A clothes and jewellery designer as well, Elle Exxe is the quintessential 360-degree modern artist. And hello to Elle Exxe, it's Lisa Fitz from Project 7 checking in. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, really well, really well. Just laying low, not going out much, which is nice. Talking to my friends on Zoom, which is brilliant. So where are you right now? Where are you?
I'm at home in London. So, yeah, I was meant to be in LA, but I'm not.
You're here. And what are you working on at the moment, Elle Exxe? What's your current project?
So the last few days I've been trying to self-mix and master the piano session of my next single. So this year it's kind of called the 2020 series, and on the 20th of every second month I release a new single, and then on the alternate month, so 3rd, 5th, 7th months, I am releasing a piano version of that single. So I've just recorded Before I Break, which is the next single. I've just recorded the piano version of that. So
okay, and are you doing the production in a studio, or are you doing the production at home?
At home. So the singles have mostly been produced already. So I'm doing a little bit still over the internet working. I actually have been using a website called soundbetter.com to find mixers and work with, collaborate with different people. So I'm finishing production on a few tracks still and doing that via email.
Can you give us any top tips or anything that you do specifically to make remote working easier and smoother?
I mean, one of the things is with working remotely is you get a lot of emails back and forth, and that can slow things down a lot. And describing sounds in words, you can't say, oh, that bit that goes blip, blip, blip. You have to go the bit that goes, and then how do I describe that in words? So voice notes can sometimes be helpful, and you have to always use time codes to talk about the sections of the songs that you're talking about, and you have to listen to the song as many times as possible and give them all the notes that you can possibly find in one email, rather than creating a thread of 200 messages. Oh, make this one change, make that one change. It has to be a list of here's all the changes you need to make. And sometimes that can be something that I think people resist because they feel guilty for writing a long list, and maybe you're giving a lot of work to someone, but the reality is you're giving them more work if you're making them do 20 mixes instead of 5.
So what is your ideal songwriting environment? Because I know that you write with a lot of other people, you do remote writing like you're just talking about, you're building a studio at home, but what would be the ideal Elle Exxe songwriting environment?
Comfy. For a start, having a nice, comfy seat, quiet. I'm not one of those artists that likes to be in a room full of 10 people. I want it to be an intimate space with 2, 3 max. But I actually like writing one-on-one a lot. But two to three people can be the best situation, because that means that it's always moving. And having a studio that the producer really knows, because in the early days, I used to go to sessions and you would spend the first 3 hours just trying to get the sound desk to work.
So frustrating.
So I'm not into going into big fancy studios. I just like to go into a studio that the producer really knows and feels comfortable in, and that we can also feel comfortable in as top liners and instrumentalists.
You have a very clear idea about your sound. So what steers that musical vibe, that Elle Exxe musical vibe? What steers that?
As much as it's clear, it's also always evolving. And you have to, when I was doing the album, I really had to lock into an idea. Otherwise, I would go left, right, and center. But a lot of my identity is based on contrast and contradiction. So that was why an album about love and hate works so well.
Yes.
An album about life and death would work equally well for me. Something that creates that contrast creates inspiration for me. And that's often what my actual sound is like as well, because I can go from pop to rock in one song rather than in one album. So I think for me, it's just about being open to the sounds that you enjoy. And I feel like everyone is drawn to particular sounds, and that's what creates your musical identity, is what you're drawn to naturally.
And you're very hands-on as well, like you're saying, you want to jump on to the equipment.
Yeah.
What's the thing that motivates that sort of hands-on, the idea that you want to just get into the production side of the music? Is that because you want to feel like you have more control over your sound, or is it something that just comes instinctively to you?
It's quite instinctive for me. It's I worry about it sometimes in case I come across the wrong way, because sometimes it's out of impatience. I'm a very impatient person. I hate waiting around, and I hate wasting time. Wasting time gives me a lot of anxiety. So I can be quick to jump on something because I can hear what I want it to sound like. And if I waste an hour trying to describe that in words, that would aggravate me and kill the session potentially, because I would just be feeling miserable, and then that would spread. Whereas if you just take that energy and give it to everyone around you and also make the changes at the same time, I feel like that's the most positive way of expressing the music and the ideas. The more that you can do in the studio, the more opportunities you're going to create for yourself. So I play lots of instruments, which means that I can go on tour with other bands and play for them. I can then do a solo set by myself as well. I'm just trying to create as many opportunities as I can for myself by learning every aspect of the industry that I'm in.
Let's talk about your design, your jewelry and your clothing design.
I like making things. So whatever that be, whether it be even making a website or making jewelry, making clothes, or making interior design ideas, stuff like that. I love creating, taking something from nothing. That's kind of just what excites me. So I didn't realize, but this was not intentional. I mean, it's upside down, but it says the best on it. And that was something that I created for the Rose Gold single release, because it has this lyric in it, the best thing that I never had. So I kind of got it for hoping that the fans would kind of embrace it as a way of celebrating that single release, and to make them feel like they're part of the music. I've got this heart star necklace. This was created as my first ever logo. The phrase was something like, a star shall rise out of this, or a star shall shoot out of this broken heart. And the idea was that something great would come out of that heartache. And then I sell these earrings as well, which again,
the earrings are great.
When I first started creating merchandise, it was something that really mattered to me, because I thought about, if I was on stage, what would I want to look out at? And I don't want to look at people just wearing my face or with my logo on it. I want them to wear something that they feel good in, that they feel and look cool in. So that's kind of been my motivation behind the merch, is to actually make it something that people would genuinely want, rather than just being a symbol of being a fan.
So out of all the Project 7s that you've been to, have you got one Project 7 moment, hopefully good, that you remember over anything else? Like, is there something that sort of stands out for you?
I think my favourite moment would have been on the last trip, the last project, when we'd finished our song for the day, had dinner, and we're having a couple of drinks, and we're just like, right, there's another idea. We'd had it earlier in the day. Halliday had had an ice cream, and this idea of I'm getting ice cream, you ain't getting nothing. And we were all kind of vibing on it, and Gethin was really excited about it and started creating a beat. And it was just a vibe, and we're all drinking and coming out with outrageous lyrics, and it became a kind of party. And yeah, it was just so much fun. I think that's got to be the moment.
You were just like free flowing with the lyrics, like you were just top lining, and then Gethin was recording it, squashing it all together and spitting it out of the PMCs. It was like,
I was dropping a line in every yeah, it was crazy.
So what are you doing with that track? Have you been in touch with him? Are you going to do anything with it?
We had a little chat, but like nothing's happened as of yet. Unfortunately, it doesn't really fit with what I'm releasing at the moment.
Not at the moment, but it's money in the bank.
Yeah, exactly. I can think of a lot of artists it would work for, but
yeah, me too.
Watch this space, I guess.
So tell me, what does Elle Exxe listen to relax? What are you listening to at the moment? What's on your playlist?
Remy Wolf. She's amazing. I think based in California, in Los Angeles probably. And she's just got this whole vibe that I really love. An artist called Bulo. What else have I been listening to lately? The Mark Ronson Late Night Feelings album has been one of my favorites. Those three artists are getting a lot of plays, and Lizzo is kind of like a real icon for me. So I listen to her every now and again, but when I talk about her, I cry. So I have to just stay chill.
Okay, I got some quick questions for you here. Here we go. We're going to roll with them. Cat or dog?
Cat.
Marmite or Vegemite?
Ugh.
Neither.
I might not.
Okay, Stones or Beatles?
Stones.
Chanel or Versace?
Versace.
Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
Soccer or rugby?
Rugby.
Adidas or Nike?
Nike.
Forest or beach?
Beach.
Oasis or Blur?
Oasis.
Wine or beer?
Wine. Hate beer.
White or red?
White.
Take note, everyone. City or country?
City.
And last one, summer or winter?
Summer.
Of course.
Yeah, that's an easy one.
Thank you so much for checking in with us. It's so nice to catch up with you.
Nice to speak to you. Thanks for having me.
And good luck with everything. And from your Project 7 sisters and brothers, we look forward to seeing you out there.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye now. For more info and to apply to one of our Project 7 songwriting retreats, visit us at project7.com.